It is good, it is good.
St. Matthew Evangelical Lutheran Church of Omaha, Nebraska began as a Sunday school mission of Kuntz Memorial Lutheran Church, conducted at the Prairie Lawn Country School at the far west end of the city of Omaha. Within 18 months, they had constructed a building which came to double both for worship and Sunday school. In 1951, the land and building was donated to the budding community. That same year, Pastor Gustav Huff was sent to establish a new congregation. In 1955, construction began on what is the current church building at 60th and Walnut Streets. The congregation thrived as Omaha moved west to meet the new Exarban neighborhood. Pastor Huff died suddenly, and Hugo Welkert was called to serve the congregation, which he did until his retirement in 1981. He was followed by David Eline, Richard Mannel, and Glenn Thomas, who currently serves the congregation. In 1972, an education wing was added to the building to serve the burgeoning ministry, followed by a bell tower and an elevator. One of the earliest ministries of the congregation was the Neighborhood Ice Cream Social, began in 1952 and continuing to this day. St. Matthew enjoys a vibrant worship life with many special celebrations and a rich variety of music. We use traditional and non-traditional worship settings and music, from ancient hymns to modern jazz, and we mark the seasons and the holidays with long-beloved traditions. The community also shares a special relationship with Tela Parish in Tanzania, raising money to support its ministry and to provide scholarships for young women by selling fabrics and other handmade items. Our newest ministry is the Loaves and Fishes Food Pantry, working with Project Hope to fight food insecurity here in Midtown Omaha. In 2019, St. Matthew joined the Reconciling Works movement in the ELCA, expanding its mission to become an ally of the LGBTQIA+ community. In 2021, St. Matthew Lutheran Church became part of the Vitality Initiative for Congregations in the Nebraska Synod. In this process, we began trying to describe the core identity of St. Matthew and to discover a sense of its vocation in the world. The team conducted interviews with members of the congregation and in that process identified a few things. St. Matthew was founded as a neighborhood church to serve what was at the time the newly developing neighborhood of Exarban and Elmwood Park. But the neighborhood has changed now. As Omaha continued to expand westward, what was once the edge of the city now has become the middle of the city. And the people in the neighborhood have changed as well. We were reminded in our interviews that St. Matthew is a community of strong and deep relationships. People who joined this church when they were young and their families were new, and who together raised their children and traveled the journey of their lives, and now who have grown older together. Now we find ourselves challenged to find ways to share that same gift with newcomers into our community. We also know that St. Matthew is a place where many have grown in faith and in spirit. A community that has raised up servants for the community and for the church. A community that has taught and grown the values of discipleship in its members, many of whom have gone on to lead in the community around the church. But we also heard people say that St. Matthew is not what it used to be. We are acutely aware that we are missing youth and young families, which used to be so much a part of this ministry. And we have concerns about a loss of energy and mission and direction that we certainly hope to rediscover in this process. Lastly, we have found that St. Matthew is a place at a crossroads. Blessed with a rich story that is worth telling, but searching now for new ways to tell its story in a rapidly changing world.
Thanks to the Lord.